Well, my friends, here we are. Today's vlog takes place at the City of Mesa Cemetery. Visiting one of my heroes. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. It's a real bucket lister for me today. I love this guy. So Waylon actually really got his start out here in this area, playing at a place called JD's. This band called the Wailers. So he had a house out here in Chandler, and that's where he died. So that's why he's buried out here in Mesa Cemetery. I believe he is over here in this section. I do know he has a flat headstone. Well, here he is, the great Waymore, great Waylon Jennings. Waylon, I gotta wipe off your headstone first, man. I can't look at all that grass on there. Well, right up there with Elvis Presley, one of my favorite people of all time, the great Waylon Jennings. I've always been a fan of his music. I think I really got turned on to it when I was a senior in high school. A friend of mine was going through a phase of listening to nothing but country, and he said, dude, you gotta check out Nashville Rebel, man, you'll love that. And I did. Listened to his music all these years, and then this year, taking a road trip through Texas, we got to stop off at his brother's liquor store in Littlefield, where Waylon was born, in Littlefield, Texas. And they have a little museum there, and what an interesting guy. First off, I mean, it's heartbreaking that he passed away in his sleep at the age of 64. Complications of diabetes. He got his start in a really great way. Buddy Holly, the great Buddy Holly, wanted to produce, and Waylon was the first man that he decided to produce. He took him to Norman Petty Studios and cut a little record there, and it didn't do so well. But Buddy decided he was going to do that last winter dance party tour, and he needed a band because his band members didn't really want to go. So he told Waylon, learn how to play the bass, and Waylon became the bass player for that last tour, and almost was on that plane. He had a seat on that plane that the Big Bopper and Richie Valens went down on, known as the day the music died. Waylon gave up his seat. He was asked if he could give up his seat, and he did. He said if it was okay with Buddy, he'd give it up. And Buddy said before he got on the plane, well, Waylon, I hope your old bus freezes up, jokingly, and Waylon said back jokingly, well, I hope your old plane crashes. And he said that was a source of ill feelings for a long, long time. He said he really felt guilty about that, and a lot of people believe that that's what eventually led to him having quite a drug and drinking problem. He wrote a lot about it. He was known as one of the early outlaws of country music. I mean, he really was the outlaw. They brought him to Nashville and wanted to turn him into a superstar like Hank Sr., and it just wasn't working for Waylon. And Waylon wasn't having any success in Nashville, and even with Chet Atkins behind him, the man who was responsible for making everyone a star, Waylon just wasn't having success, and he wanted to do it his way, and they didn't want to let him do it his way. So he just decided that's the way it had to be, and he decided to gamble on himself. He started producing his own records and even got to play on them. He said it was real intimidating earlier before he played them, because he said I'd walk into a studio with all these great musicians and, you know, Jerry Reed and people like that, and I don't even get to play on my own record. And then eventually he would end up playing on those records. He would make tons of records, including with his best friends, known as the Highwaymen. He got to make records with Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson. Made records with the love of his life, Jessie Coulter. She was one of the outlaws. They had one of my favorite songs together was called Storms Never Last. And Waylon, in memory of that and in memory of you, I got a tattoo recently of that. Now, you don't have to have a broken heart to love Waylon Jennings music, but it sure don't hurt. And I think that's when it really grabbed me, was just feeling really brokenhearted listening to his music, and it was just like someone singing right directly into my heart. And it's still my go-to when I'm sad, probably more than anything else. You can see here it says, "I am my beloved's, my beloved is mine, a loving son, husband, father, and grandfather." And then over here, much like he sang about, a vagabond dreamer, a rhymer and singer of songs, revolutionary in country music, beloved by the world. Yeah, he didn't even go to his own induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Much like this headstone, which is pretty modest, Waylon didn't like a lot of fuss made over him, and he did enjoy the honor, but he just didn't think that some things like that were necessary. God bless you, Waylon. You really were one of a kind. I often wonder what kind of music you would have been making if you were still alive, like Willie. Willie kept going, and almost feel like Willie's music gets better. It's an honor to come visit you, Waylon. Hope you won't mind, but I brought my guitar. I wanted to play a couple of your songs for you, because I've watched enough interviews with you, I know which ones were your favorites. And I thought for sure, even if they weren't the best version you ever heard, very well might be the only version you hear today. Hope you won't be offended if I play a Buck Owens guitar for you today, Waylon. Waylon, I want to start out with the one that you said was your favorite, that you love to perform. "Dreaming My Dreams of You." This one really touched me because I saw you talking about this song, and you said why you loved it was because you said you realized that when a marriage or a relationship doesn't work out, you got to remind yourself not to get bitter, because once you love someone, you always love them. Sometimes you just have to move on and put them in a little place in your heart and keep going. And sometimes even when you're dreaming about that person, you just got to keep going on, even if they're not dreaming about you.
That I won't be that wrong anymore. Maybe I've learned this time. Hope that I find what I'm reaching for, the way that it is in my mind. Someday I'll get over you. I'll live to see it all through, but I'll always miss dreaming my dreams with you. But I won't let it change me, not if I can. I'd rather believe in love, give it away as much as I can to those that I'm fondest of. Someday I'll get over you. I'll live to see
I know it's not as good as you, man. I just wanted to sing it for you because I don't know when the last time somebody came out here and sang it to you was. Now this one definitely won't be as good as what you're used to, Waylon, but I love this song, and I love the sentiment behind it. I love watching you and Jesse sing it together. I've seen, I don't even know how many live versions of you two doing this together, and every time the way that you two look at each other is just heartbreaking. It's always fun to watch because I always know at some point in that song you're gonna jump over and give her a little peck, little kiss. You just never know when it's gonna happen. So even though I know this isn't like you and Jesse singing it, I'm gonna do my own version if you don't mind.
Storms never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder. You make the sun want to shine. Oh, I followed you down so many roads, baby. I think wildflowers and sung you soft, sad songs. And every road we took, God knows our search was for the truth. And the storms brewing now won't be the last. Storms never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine steals the thunder. You make the star want to shine. Storms never last, do they, Jesse? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine steals the thunder. You make the sun wanna shine.
All right, Waylon, I figured I'd leave you on this one because I know you love this song, and I know that you were inspired to write it by reading about Ike and Tina Turner Review, and that you had a good bit of the song done and you just couldn't come up with a chunk of the chorus. And then Willie came in, and Willie wrote the really beautiful extra line in there that just brought this all together. So I thought, you know, you and Willie were just like brothers. Let's end it with this one. What do you say? Hope you won't mind. Let's do as good of a version as I can do of Goodhearted Woman.
A long time forgotten, a dream that just fell by the way. The good life he promised her ain't what she's living today. No, she never complains about the bad times or the bad things he's done. just talks about the good times they had and all the good times to come. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his ways she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter, we'll pass through this world hand in hand. 'Cause a good-hearted woman loves a good-timing man. He likes the nightlight, the bright lights, and good-timing friends. When the party's all over, she'll welcome him back home again. No, she don't understand him. She's doing the best that she can, Lord. 'Cause a good-hearted woman loves a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter, we'll pass through this world hand in hand. 'Cause a good-hearted woman loving a good-timing man. Oh, a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves me in spite of my wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter, we'll pass through this world hand in hand. 'Cause a good-hearted woman just loves a good time, and good-hearted woman just loves a good time, and good-hearted woman loving a good-timing man.
Well, I do wonder where Jesse Coulter's going to be buried. There's not a whole lot of room there beside you four. But Waylon, it was a real honor to get to visit you today, man. God bless you. And I will always be sporting your eagle wings right there, that logo on my wrist, till I go. Take care, Waymore. Well, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. I wanted to thank you all for joining me today to come visit one of my heroes, WAYLON Jennings. Good man, amazing singer, amazing songwriter, amazing recording artist, one of the true outlaws of country music. And I think, to me, when you say the word country music, WAYLON Jennings has to pop into your mind. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you all tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.